absolutely needs to be considered. They're talking about purging us. And excuse me, because I kind of got off course. Like I said, I was still coming down from being hot about her being upset. But they have wrote a petition that over 2 million people whites have signed that are agreeing with them coming in the hoods and killing us like nothing.
I found an article that I'm going to read when we come back.
Okay? Y'all think on that, man. For real. These people, this was on recently, and I have to call my fellow brother Muhammad for him to get on the phone and explain the website.
He's going to be on when we come back. And inshallah, if he answers the phone, we're going to have him. We're going to have a guest, Brother Prince Muhammad Al-wajid.
Peace out.
Y'all listen to some music, and we'll be back shortly. Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace and blessing. Get you a drink of water or a notepad if you want to take notes, you know, so you can write down where you can get the books from and study this information yourself, because, you know, you can't call nobody a liar if you don't
research
for yourself.
And
I mean, if it's anything y'all want to listen to, please, you know, give a shout out, because we don't know what to play for y'all after that. I know I'm going to play. I check this out. You know what? Because we're coming up on the Battle in the Sky. I think it's only fitting. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. We're not going to listen to the music at this break. Maybe another break, but not this break. I'm going to pull up Brother Nuri Muhammad, one of our fireballs. He's talking about mind wars. We're going to let him play for a few minutes, and then we come back. Peace and blessings, family.
Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I thank Allah, and we all should thank Allah for his intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. We thank him. I said we should all thank Allah for his intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. Why? Because all of the scientists that calculate condition in response to condition by means of messengers, prophets, and revelation, when they looked at us here in the wilderness of North America, they said that we were too messed up for any messenger or prophet or revealed word to fix us. But there was one by the name of Afonso, who is the father of Master Farad Muhammad, who disagreed with the other 11 and said, no, I think I can prepare a boy that can go to the west and raise that people that you deem to be a lost cause. And we bear witness that he did that by raising up his son, Master Farad Muhammad. We thank him for coming among us and raising up in our midst his messenger and Messiah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we thank the two of them today for giving us such a beautiful example of what we can become if we submit to truth. He is a model of love, a model of courage, a model of consistency, a model of loyalty. He is a model of a man and a model of a woman, if you understand. And I'm talking about our chief teacher today. The greatest student of a man that has ever had a student. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. All praise is due to Allah for these three in the line of divine. Today, brothers and sisters, we are taking on a subject titled Mind Wars. as you and I pretty much know, that anytime the conversation of war is talked about, you always deal generally with land, water, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Sky, submarine, under the water,
Yes, sir.
desert, jungle, right?
Yes, sir.
Outer space.
That's right.
But very rarely do you hear the subject of war attached to mind.
Come on now.
In fact, when you study the Marine Corps' warfare books, the Army's warfare books, they talk generally about 14 different types of war. 1, attrition warfare, guerrilla warfare, maneuver warfare, siege warfare, total warfare, trench warfare, conventional warfare, unconventional, asymmetric, counter-insurgency, air-land battle, Cold War, proxy war, but they don't talk about mind wars. At least not in their public documents. But digging a little bit deeper into the warfare stratagem of the United States government, we found down in the Department of Defense U.S. Army Field Manual 33-1, mind wars mentioned in a very slick, subtle way. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
See, even though they only talk about war on land, war on sea, and war in the sky, there is a whole nother war going on without us even knowing about it. So you'll hear people drop little stuff and they'll say silent weapons for invisible wars. Is that right? You'll hear people talk every now and then about social engineering, information warriors, perception managers, or what we would call opinion gangsters. These are groups of people that do not claim on public record any alliance to any military, yet they are fighting a war without people knowing that they are fighting. So even though in the military papers they don't talk about mind wars or psychological warfare as one of the chief battle plans, look deeper down into it. And in the Department of Defense U.S. Army Field Manual 33-1s, there's something called PSYOPs. PSYOPs, which is an abbreviation for psychological operations. Did y'all hear me? The definition, according to the Department of Defense, for psychological operations is any form of communication in support of objectives designed to influence opinions, emotions, attitudes, or behavior of any group in order to benefit the sponsor either directly or indirectly. In other words, even though there's only 14 warfare strategies that are talked about, inside of guerrilla warfare is PSYOPs. Inside of total warfare is PSYOPs. Inside of land, air, and sea warfare, there's a whole nother battle going on that is a psychological battle. And long before they ever drop
perception managers whose job is to try to turn the people, attitude, opinions, emotions, and behavior in a way that they will become their own enemy. So the bigger enemy don't have to do anything but fix the mind, and if the mind gets altered, then the people will clash with one another. Did y'all hear me? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that whoever prescribes the diameter of your thinking controls or prescribes the circumference of your activity. So whenever you have social engineers, opinion gangsters, or perception managers, or information warriors that go in before the Navy, before the Air Force, the Army, and the Marines, not to destroy buildings and bombs, but to destroy the behavior of people, then they work on renegotiating the diameter of the thinking of the people, turning them against their own kind. The next thing you know, they stand back and push buttons. So when you study the CIA and what they did to try to assassinate Fidel Castro in '63, when you study the CIA and what they did to destroy Grenada, when you study the CIA and study what they did to destroy Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, when you study the CIA and what they did to destroy Iraq and what they plan to do to destroy Iran, and with their ultimate aim of Farrakhan and the nation, they say that we don't do the job. Look in the Freedom of Information Act and dig up the CIA, and you'll find that their goal is to precipitate conditions that justify overthrow. Meaning I'm not coming to swing my hand, but I'll drop a flyer. I'll put a tape out there. I'll put some agents in. I'll drop down not soldiers in fatigue, but I'll drop down men in business suits, doctors in white smocks. I'll put professors in your institution, and they will appear to be a professor, appear to be a scholar and a doctor, appear to be a news anchor. But under the table, they are my information warriors. They're my perception managers. They're my opinion gangsters. They are social engineers hired by the government to destroy opinions and belief systems, behaviors and attitudes, and manipulate the emotions of the people. So once I get into the mind, I don't have to drop no bombs. I've already dropped not a weapon of mass destruction, but a weapon of mass deception. Make sense? So, when you look at white people and the way they wage war, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the great master teacher, who obviously seen things in advance, because everything that he said 80 years ago is bearing witness to today. His word is being bombed. He said the fall of America, what's happening? The decline of the dollar, what's going on? He said that in the last days you will be looking for blacks to be the leaders of revolution, but it'll be your own people. What is Occupy Wall Street? He said that Allah would use the elements of nature as weapons against America. What's happening with the rain, hail, snow, earthquakes? Don't you know that in California, wind has been blowing at 100 some odd miles per hour? Do you know that historically, it's always been faster to fly from California to New York than to fly from New York to California, even though both of them are the same distance? Why? Because the planet revolves on its own axis at 1,037 1/3 miles per hour in the same right direction, from east to the west. So, or from west to the east, technically. So whenever it's turning, naturally it's creating its own wind current. So since a plane gets up in the air